Hi there, Dr.Onalee here, host of Coming Home. It is my intention for you to come home to who God created you to be. Today, I want to share a little bit about something that God put on my heart, and that is you are not mad at them. You're not mad at him. You're not mad at her. You're mad at you. You know that this person is not that great. You know that this person does not have that much to offer. You know damn well that you did not have that much peace and joy with this person. You know that they were not your dream ultimate soulmate. You weren't even laughing that much together. You could never fully even trust them. You felt like you couldn't fully express yourself and be your most beautiful, expansive version. This was not your dream relationship. Deep down, you know this. And when they messed up, when they fumbled the bag, when they either broke up with you, they moved out on you, they cheated on you, they tried to get you evicted, they were with another woman, whatever the case may be that has been bringing hurt onto you, where you maybe feel rejected or you think that they're stupid for messing it up with you, I want to remind you that God works through people as well. Just like God even closed the mouths of the lions and had them not be hungry that day when Daniel was thrown into the fire, to the pit, to the place he was supposed to get eaten and torn to shreds. They didn't touch him because God works through other people in order to protect you. And if you were ignoring the red flags, which you were, something big and usually painful needs to come in as a consequence to intervene. And what I have come to find in my own experience with a lot of relationships and working with hundreds of clients privately and thousands over the span of all of my networks in the past 8 years, I have come to find that we do not want to curse the crash. The crash, the pain, the chaos is how God is communicating and speaking to. And usually for most of us who are very stubborn, it takes a lot of pain and sometimes even abuse in order for us to actually get it and to actually leave. I just got distracted here. If you can you see the water taxi driving? I was like, what is that? I live on the marina and the water taxi comes by. Usually my blinds are closed and yeah, well, there you have it, the water taxi. A little comic relief because it's a heavy topic. A lot of my clients, the way that they actually get out of narcissistic relationships is when the abuse gets really bad. The verbal, the emotional, and sometimes even the physical abuse. And I was thinking about one of my romantic relationships that's ended, and I was reflecting on I don't need this man to suffer. I don't need to wish him wrong. I don't need to sit here too and say he's never going to get anyone as good as me. He'll never find better. He'll regret this for the rest of his life. That might be my default, my human ego. But the truth of me knows that he wasn't truly my dream man. He wasn't my soulmate. I wasn't laughing and happy and fully in love with this person. We barely even went on dates. The dude barely got me flowers. There was no full romance. And he was always miserable. That's not the man of my dreams that I put on my prayer list. That's not the man I've turned so many other men down for and released relationships that were good in order to be available for great. That was not the one worth waiting for. That was not the one to marry. And it brought light to this topic of you're not mad at them. It's not about they're not going to find better or you hope they regret it for the rest of your life. It's that you deserve better and you get to learn from this. I guarantee if you take an inventory of this relationship and you dissect it without guilt and shame and remorse, you would see you ignored a ton of red flags. You would see that you kept giving this person the benefit of the doubt. You kept giving them chance after chance after chance. Why? Because when it's the wrong relationship, God is going to keep giving you confirmation it's the wrong relationship. But sometimes it can start off really subtle and you're not fully sure and you still have some insecurities and some scarcity where you think, well, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it will get better. Maybe he'll grow into it. Maybe he'll grow out of it. We gaslight ourselves in the name of actually not fully trusting God and our desire. And that's what I've come to realize being a relationship support for many people. We're not mad at the person. We're mad at ourselves for not trusting our gut, for ignoring the red flags, for deeply settling. for talking ourselves into being attracted or making it work, for giving them another chance when we knew it wasn't right. These are things we actually can control, and that is good news because when we can stop settling and ignoring the red flags and talking ourselves into making it work, and we have this information about ourselves, we know our character defects, we can then apply them when we go out to be open or available for our actual soulmate. Most people just keep repeating the past. They're not learning the lesson. And the lesson is when the red flag shows up, don't ignore it. Don't swim in the shark infested waters. Walk away from it. Ask God to remove the temptation. Most of us just keep repeating narcissist after narcissist, avoidant after avoidant, person who doesn't choose us after person who doesn't choose us, not because there's something wrong with us, but because we're not learning the lesson. In order to break a pattern, we have to stop entertaining it. But if you're still operating out of low self-worth and not fully trusting God, you're going to keep getting into or getting back with the wrong person. My job on this planet, one of them, is to help interrupt this and to give you the empowerment, the confidence, the courage, or at least nudge you in that direction so that you can take the wisdom and the discernment that you gained from the wrong relationship and what happens when you ignore your gut and the red flags and apply it to the future ones. There will be tests. And if you're not going to go through tests, consider yourself lucky. The next person you meet is your soulmate. That is amazing. And I want that for you. But for the majority of us on this planet, we're going to have to go through tests. And I have been through some very sneaky tests where it seems like this person is really right for me. We have the same, we were born in the same hospital. We grew up in the same hometown. We both were lacrosse players. We both have a podcast. Oh my God, I put on my list 6'5" and spiritual, and here is this man 6'5" and spiritual. Believe me, I have manifested every single list that I have ever written to God, only to realize I need to not fall for the music to my ears. The on paper, the on the surface. I hear clients all the time. It's hard because they're so excited. Oh my God, he this and she that. And they get all excited. But it's the music to their ears. They fall for the synchronicities. And so this is why creating our ideals, our list, if you will, the character of somebody and how you want to feel with them, it really gets to be non-negotiable. And there is no scarcity in this world. God wouldn't put the desires in your heart if you weren't meant to experience them. So, for example, you don't need to be crazy picky, but maybe you do. I don't think anything's wrong with that either. This is the person you're going to spend your life with. Why would you not be picky? That's crazy to not be picky, in my opinion. And how many people do end up in divorce? 60% or more? Because they're not picky and they're too afraid to be picky, listening to people who weren't picky. That's what they got to tell themselves once they're trapped in the wrong relationship. Say you want to feel like you're fully attracted to this person and you feel like you're living your dream life, and then you go out on a date with somebody and you feel a little embarrassed to be with them, or you know they're not quite really attractive to you, but there's something within you that feels this guilt of who am I to judge somebody by their looks, or who am I to think I'm so good, I'm better than this person. This is the empath's biggest problem. Our empathy and our compassion gets in the way of honoring our gut, our heart, and our desires. And so we deeply settle all the time and try to protect people's feelings. But in the name of protecting feelings, don't you get hurt? Doesn't that person get hurt when all along you weren't actually even into them? It's actually going to hurt a lot less when you learn how to say no and you honor the dream person that God placed in your heart. And we're going to talk much more about this, but right now, this is about releasing you being mad at this person, feeling resentful towards them, bitter towards them. The guy who moved out on me with no warning, that was the best thing that could have happened to me. God removed him because I was not following the red signs. I was literally, it would say shark infested water, and I would get in the pool and go skinny dipping. This person was not right for me. This person was not good for me. And on another note, I want to ask you, does this person lead you to better health or worse? Some of the relationships I was in, they would lead me to vaping. They would lead me to drinking. They would lead me to smoking. They would lead me to doing edibles. They'd lead me to doing cocaine. they would lead me to things that worsened my spirit and deteriorated my health. The right relationship, it leads me to stretching more. It leads me to working out more. It leads me to eating better. It leads me to growing my YouTube. It leads me towards being my happiest, healthiest, most fit, abundant version. And if it's not for me. And I guarantee if you go back and you look at your previous relationships or this current one you're entertaining that you know ain't right for you, they are not leading you to your greater health. They are deteriorating your health. You are worthy and deserving of being the most expressed abundant version of yourself. So go ahead and implement something from here that touched your heart, whether it's something I said or just something that was sparked within you. I'm not sitting here claiming to know all the answers and what's right for you. It's actually quite the opposite. My invitation is to invite you to come home to your own guidance. And this is a space where your stuff can come up to the surface and you can feel empowered and encouraged to go ahead and take action on that. I tell my clients all the time, if you look at some of the podcast reviews, one of my private clients who's been with me for maybe 5 years now, something she really likes about working with me is that I don't tell her what to do. I invite her to reflect. I invite her to question. I invite her to take a look. That's what my work has always been about. It's not, I know what to do, go do it. An example that's always stuck with me is we all have something that makes us tick and spark, something that makes us feel alive, makes us come home. And for you, that could be you love playing the guitar. When you play the guitar, you just get lost in it and you absolutely love it and you feel on top of the world and nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be. But you could then sit here and say, just play the guitar. And that's all you need to do to solve all your problems. But if you tell that to me, who's not a musically inclined person, naturally, that's probably going to make me feel worse. Feeling frustrated and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know, this doesn't sound good. That's going to have a very different effect than if you just said, go play the guitar and that's going to solve it all. So, what I want to empower you to do is what makes you tick, what makes you feel at home, what makes you feel alive. And oftentimes, what do you need to let go of? Who do you need to let go of in order to feel that? You're meant to feel peace. You're meant to feel happiness. You're meant to feel love. You're meant to feel joy. They are the language of the creator. And there are things in your life and relationships in your life that are getting in the way of it. And my invitation after this episode is just go take a look at it. And if you want to dive deeper with me, go ahead and book a one-to-one call. We can do some work together. You could check out the No More Narcissist program. There's a special code below. And I also invite, if you feel inclined, if you'd love to support the podcast, the greatest thing you can do for me to help me reach more people like you, scroll all the way to the very bottom, hit the 5 stars, and leave an honest review or feedback. That would mean the world to me, and it takes literally 1 minute. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the later episodes, and we will talk soon.